Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside of the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center here in the heart of Owen Sound for the 2018 Canadian Juvenile Broomball Championships between the Manitoba All-Star Girls and the Seaway Valley Devils. Matt Sanderson alongside Phil Davis here commentating this game for you. And Phil Davis, you've actually been around broomball for a little while. You know a little bit of this game. So
yes.
You see as this game goes with these two girls teams, age 16 to 20, what are we kind of looking for from these two teams?
Well, this should be an interesting game. Certainly Manitoba's had a rough go so far.
Yeah.
I don't believe they've actually even got a goal yet. But their goaltender has been phenomenal, really held them in the games. So it'll be one of those things where I'm sure Manitoba's going to be looking to play a very defensive game probably, hope to get a break or two. And I'm sure the Seaway Valley Devils are going to try and look to get that first goal early, calm everything down, and then they'll feel like they're sort of cooled out.
Yeah, and now let's take a look at the standings. As you see Team S from Quebec is there sitting 5-0 right now with 10 points. The Big River Crusaders, they're in second place there. But right behind them, tied with them, is the Sea Valley Blue Devils. They're 3-2 right now so far in this tournament. But you see all the way down there at the bottom, Phil, Team Manitoba 0-4. The one thing that stands out to me is for the Sea Valley Devils team, there's a couple girls on this team that have a couple points in this one. But it's going to be interesting to see how they play this, especially against an 0-4 squad.
Exactly, yes. They don't want to take them lightly because these teams are here for a reason. They can certainly play. And the big thing is I'm sure this Sea Valley team can score from many different people. So it's going to be one of those things. Manitoba's going to have a hard time trying to keep everyone off the scoreboard.
I have heard, I have not seen a game yet, but I have heard that the Manitoba All-Star Girls, they have a great goaltender in Haley Harrison, who is going to be the netminder here tonight. And we go through these names here as the Sea Valley Devils, I believe they're from just outside of Ottawa, Phil.
Okay, that's...
So...
And that's a real hotbed. Ottawa area is a real hotbed for broomball. You always find a lot of really great teams out of there.
All right, so already from the drop of the hat, the Seaway Valley Devils coming out flying here. But going back the other way, this is Raylan Camartin. Keep in mind, this Manitoba team, nobody has any points. So if the points come here tonight, well, it'll be a statement for sure. As this one now is brought up the outside boards. Here comes Michaela Coons. Coons shoots, and that one is knocked away by Carrisson. Now it'll go into the sideboards. This is Mackenzie Coons, her sister. She's going to throw that one over top of the net. Now coming over to the side to cut that one off is Emily Zanbelt. There are a couple Zanbelts on this team, Phil, and we'll go through those in just a little while. I was talking to the coach beforehand, and a good deflection in front, and she said, oh, great, there's another Zanbelt. It's kind of, what a great save there by Carrisson. But that's kind of the motive with this Sea Valley Devils team is, oh, there's another Zanbelt, as there's a lot of duplicate names.
And you're going to find that a lot. Very much, this is a real family sport when it comes right down to it. So it's not uncommon at all to see 3 or 4 players on the same team from the same family. Also generational as well, too. So you'll see sometimes fathers and sons playing on the same team, daughters and mothers.
And a good stop there in front. That one is cleared away by Megan Middleton. But now this will come out to the point. Shot wide, saved in front. Carrisson doing a great job swallowing up that ball. Even though there was traffic in front there. Phil, I think that this is going to be a big statement if they can try to shut this Devils team down early.
Absolutely. What they want to do is slow down the game as much as possible, as many whistles as she can. So the keeper is going to want to stop that ball and get as many face-offs as possible.
Now this will come out to the point, a battle for it. This one will be dumped back in. That is Sarah Richer. Richer's battling hard in the boards. She's now looking for a teammate. And she's going to carry the ball up. That's deflected in front. Zandbelt, that's Kira Zandbelt, sister of goaltender Keely Zandbelt, and their cousin Emily Zandbelt is number 7. She's also on the team as well, so there might be some Zandbelts potentially getting some points in this one, and this should be a fun ride for that family as as some of the coaches behind the boards are related in a way, shape, or form to some of these girls.
And right now we've got Manitoba just trying to box it up, and they're doing a quick switch there too. You've got the Seaway Valley Devils made a switch up, so they tried to take advantage of that too and get another defenseman on there.
The Devils doing a great job keeping this in Manitoba's end, but as we said, that it just gets out. Now it's corralled. It'll be thrown back by Richer. Richer will now pick it up again. She'll go to the net. Over into the point now. That is Richer again. Sarah Richer waiting for her team to change. Deflected in front there. Just outside of the reach of Jessica Henley.
And that was a nice little play that the Seaway Devils used, as they brought it right down the corner so that the defense could not change. So they got 2 extra changes in there, so fresher legs right now.
All right, now this is Marie-Eve Bouchard. She will throw that in as it gets tangled up with the ref, but a great chance here for the Devils. Richer gonna shoot. That one's gonna be knocked away. Sorry, that was Jessica Henley that took that shot. Now it's scooped up by Maxine Durer-Pintany. That's going to be a mouthful to pronounce at the end of the night. All right, now another opportunity here as it goes back to Durer-Pintany. She'll shoot. Deflected in front. Out to Bouchard. Bouchard plays some great defense there. Now Henley will have it. She's going to look for a teammate. Almost in front, just off the outstretched stick of her teammate. Durer-Pintany. She will throw it back to McCrae. And out in front, a good chance there, but nobody could put that one past Turisson. And now back the other way.
Smart play there to use the boards and just make it easy. You got to get it down there. The defense has been on way too long. They need to get a good change in there.
And you're absolutely right, Phil. This is the first action that we've really seen of Manitoba in the other end since the first couple seconds into this game.
Absolutely, yes. And they got someone parked right in front right now, so that's good if they can get the ball in there.
All right. That one will be knocked back to the boards. That is Jillian Sigurdsson. She will toss it back to Comartin, and Raylyn Comartin in the sideboards here, battling hard as she's got defenders on her. As this ball goes right to the other end as Manitoba looking to chase this down, but Coons with some great legs. She will stop, regroup. Shot in front. Good stop there. And Turisson is just going to fall on this ball.
That was a nice play, and I'm sure Manitoba's going to enjoy the fact that they were able to get that ball out and have a little bit, it wasn't really sustained pressure down there, but just relieved a little bit of the pressure from their end too. So they'll take some pride in that, and the fact remains is it's still no score here, and they haven't given up any really great scoring opportunities yet.
And the thing that we have to keep in mind of as well is, as we mentioned it off the top, Phil, this is a Manitoba team who coming into this game is 0-4 right now, sitting at the bottom of the bracket, and realistically, they have nothing to lose. They want to try to come in here and make this a statement, as is a great chance, and that one is going to stop.
Going to be blown down. The net is off the. They don't actually really use pegs. They just sort of use almost like grates to just sort of little spikes on the top of the net to try and hold it in place, just for a safety measure more than anything.
Face-off won by the Devils. Great chance here. Just shot wide by Woodside. Now play off the boards, and Carrisson is going to fall on that one, as teams are going to regroup.
Some wholesale changes here. Get both lines, switch them up here. As much as just sort of like in hockey too, you usually have lines that you play with, defensive partners as well too. But a lot of times you just can't get those full switches in, so you end up sort of playing with everyone on your team a lot.
This one's going to go into the sideboards, as going after that ball. Good aggressiveness there for Jessica Richer. She'll dump that one back to her sister, Sarah Richer. So there was almost a Richer to Richer connection there in front, but now tangled up again. The one thing that I noticed about the Devils is, yes, they are putting pressure on Manitoba, but they really aren't getting many scoring opportunities, Phil. Manitoba's doing a great job clogging up those lanes.
They are. The Devils really have a lot of ball control. They've had the ball most of the time, but Manitoba's playing very strong defensively, just sort of blocking them out, covering up the middle, and keeping them to the outsides.
All
and
right.
it is really hard to try and move that ball into the middle to a person too. So you really have to try and get some movement and draw your defenders out of position.
That one will go back behind the boards, as this is Richer, Sarah Richer, with her sister to her left as her sister moves in front of her. Richer will move over to the side. She'll now look for an open teammate just out of the reach of number 76, McNairn there.
And I think look for that an awful lot more. You're going to see them trying to use some of the defense to try and sneak in against one of the wingers. And that's where they're going to open them up.
Battle hard in those boards, as this is McNairn. Ball will now go around to the other side. Shot fanned on there, and Manitoba now will have it. This is Comartin. Comartin will have that ball between her legs.
She got it out, and that was the big thing right there. Just get it out and relieve a little pressure here.
Now here's Henley, but great defensive play there by Lauren Selman, as her offensive counterpart was coming in on a great chance. This is Henley again. Selman's going to try to stand tall here. She'll grab this ball, throw it over to the other side, and now picked up in the corner. Shot tried to make it through to the net, but did not. And that's Zandbelt. She'll toss it back to Durer Pentany. Durer Pentany. If I say that 5 times fast, I should be able to have it. Maxine Durer Pentany. As that ball will go over to the other side now and picked up again by Henley. Henley it's blocked in front now.
Here could be a break. Oh, couldn't quite get it over there.
Great chance for Blair Burnett. That one just went over top of the net, as Carrisson got a break there, as it did not fall in behind her. And Haley Carrisson, really the difference maker right now, as she is standing tall. I think we've only said Keely Zandbelt's name once in this broadcast, Phil, because she hasn't had any action.
No, she really has not. There was a couple times where they've got down there, but the hasn't gotten to the net yet. And I think the only time you probably mentioned her was the fact that she's part of a family that's playing here. So
now you see that as that could be potentially sometimes a little grueling on a goaltender, especially if they haven't had much action in that game. The first opportunity that they might get, it could throw off their rhythm a little bit, as Carison is doing what she can to keep this a 0-0 game. Now Zambelt will clear this out. Now so a little bit of offense here from Manitoba. Here's Julianne Ruar. She'll throw she'll toss that ball in front of the net, which is knocked away. Now it's picked up by Ebby. Kaylin Ebby. She's fighting for it. A good stop there by Zambelt, and that's the first save of the night for her.
And I was going to say, too, earlier, you were just talking about the goalie not having a lot of play. She has had a couple shots there, but probably about 30 seconds before we started up last time, there was almost a spot where the Manitoba player, if she could have flipped the ball over the one defenseman's broom, it would have been a breakaway for Manitoba. So that would have been not having any shots and all of a sudden facing a breakaway. That's tough.
Now, the Devils find themselves hemmed in their own end, as this is Bouchard. She'll work it around to the other side of the boards. Now it's taken away. It's Madison Major and Raylan Comartin as the two that are really trying to put some offensive force on this Seaway Devils team. Now back the other way. Good defense by number 7 again, Lauren Selman there. An important piece right now for Manitoba, as the Devils still working to get it out of their end. Manitoba with a little bit of offensive thrust here. Now back the other side is Eliza Bollinger. This ball will be kicked right towards Carison, who will save that.
And certainly that's probably one of those ones where Carison could have came out, played that ball off to the side for their defender, but you can tell that Manitoba would like to, as much as possible, slow this game down. So once again, she just made sure that she brought herself back into the crease and made sure there was no reason for her to get a delay game penalty. Just freeze it up and let's go for another face-off.
Face-off won by the Devils again. They have won a handful in this game, that's for sure. Really trying to put that offensive push on them. Jessica Richer, that ball will go out to Elaine Gignac. So Elaine Gignac had that ball, and the first time that she's been on the ice in this one tonight. Ball tangled up in the corner. Here's Zambelt. That one did not make it through. Trying to find a way through, and great defense again, as Carison might have got a little bit of a piece of that as it possibly squeaked through. But coming back the other way is Sarah Richer. Richer out in front and just out of the reach of that post. Could have been a 1-0 game late in this first. We're at 5:07 left to go in this first, and at the next stoppage we'll talk a little bit about these periods, Phil, as they're two 18-minute periods. But right now the Devils, a lot of force in front and just out of the reach of Woodside, and Manitoba now trying to get something going, and play will stop. We'll go over to those periods now.
Okay, so yes, another difference actually in hockey, where you have the 3 periods. You have two periods in Broomball, first half and the second half, basically. Usually not a whole lot of time in between the two. Just a couple minutes to sort of get settled, almost like a timeout. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of big breaks. You don't have to flood the ice with Broomball either. So
Yeah, they have a couple games on the bucket list for tonight, as we'll get into those ones a little bit later. But right now, 4:25 left on the clock in the first. Great chance here for Henley. She'll dump that ball in. Now, Durer Pentany, she will flip it up to Henley. Knocked away. That's McNairn again, or McRae, sorry. McRae now has it again. Over to Durer Pentany, and what a shot there from Maxine Durer Pentany, as a great save there by Carisson. McNairn flips it over to Henley. Knocked away by Carisson. Henley has it taken away by Comartin, and now Henley trying to get this ball back. Comartin playing great defense here. Is that ball now going all the way down into the Devils' end? Bouchard, she'll try to bring this one back, and she will. She flips it up, caught in the legs of Henley. Bouchard regroups. Coming in on the side, she's got two with her. Tough for her to make a play on that one, as the defenders were in great position there.
And you probably notice that a lot of the players will go to a backhand here too. You get a little bit more strength on your backhand, so it'll go a little bit harder, but usually most people have less control.
So really trying to work the backhand there, some of these girls are, as now Manitoba coming back the other way. This is Paige Kopko, and she'll let that ball go down into the opposing end. As Blair Burnett now is flipping that up to a teammate. A great play behind the back there. Unfortunately, there was no teammate around, but what a play that would have been to try to spark some fire into the Devils here, Phil.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Sometimes it's that moment of brilliance that you come up with, and that's what breaks the deadlock.
1:58 left to go in this first period. Matt Sanderson, Phil Davis up here in the broadcast booth giving you the call between the Seaway Valley Devils and the Manitoba All-Star girls team. Manitoba 0-4 right now in this tournament. Meanwhile, the Devils, they're 3-2, tied for second place in their division right now. Zan Belt, she'll throw that one in front. Now Ebby going to the forehand, backhand, tosses it to a teammate, blocked in front. Zanbelt. Now this is Coombs. She can't get it originally to Zanbelt, then does. Now back the other way, Kopko loses the ball.
Good recovery there to pressure it a little bit more again, though.
Under a minute left to go in this game, or in this period, sorry, as the Devils doing everything they can to stop Manitoba from trying to get another offensive thrust here, but Manitoba will come down for maybe one last push before this first period ends, as the All-Star girls team from Manitoba looking to try to get their not only first point but first goal of this tournament. Back the other way with 10 seconds left. It's going to be stopped at 8 seconds.
Just a little bit on the offside. Just got over it, didn't quite wait for the ball to get across.
And like you mentioned, Phil, if people are watching, they're kind of wondering, well, why was that offsides? It's because the red line is the offsides point.
Correct. Correct. Don't think of it as three zones: your middle zone, your neutral zone, your offensive defense. It really is only one half. See,
All right, so 0-0 right now. To be honest, Phil, I am kind of surprised here. This is a Devils team who has a lot of offense. They're 3-2 right now. They know how to win games, but Haley Carisson doing a great job for the Manitoba All-Star girls. But I think a lot of this you have to credit to the defense in their own end.
Absolutely. That is the one thing with Broomball. You can be playing against a team, and I don't want to necessarily say that the Devils are a lot better than the All-Stars, but you can play against a team that is a lot better. I did that and beat teams by playing very defensively, and you take your one chance and hopefully you get it. So it's a lot more difficult to manufacture goals in Broomball than it is in hockey and stuff like that. So playing good defense will really help you.
We want to thank Dairy Queen in Owen Sound, 315 Main Street in Sauble Beach, but 3rd Avenue East here in Owen Sound for providing the refreshments for the crew here. I do have to say, when I got the message from my producer of Dairy Queen was on the menu for dinner tonight, I wanted to make sure I got over here and got a couple burgers and fries before everybody else could.
Yeah, that was probably a pretty good call. I will learn. Rookie mistake, show up late.
All right, so both of these teams regrouping here. Phil, from this game, from both of these teams, what are you looking for into the second period now?
So this will be interesting because I'm sure Manitoba wants to try and push forward whenever they can, but that's when they're going to be most vulnerable, is on a fast break the other way by the Devils, because I think they probably have a bit more skill. So it's that balance of trying to create a little bit to get that one goal, but not giving up a great breakaway which could sink you for the game.
For the Devils, I think the important part is they have to just keep pressuring Haley Carisson in front of the net. They've done a good job so far. The defense is standing tall for Manitoba, but if they want to go and crack through the goaltender, you got to keep peppering her with shots.
Exactly. You got to have faith that eventually that ball is going to find the back of the net. And the one thing, too, is certainly Manitoba, a lot more times their defense, and for that matter, all the girls on the ice, have had to have longer shifts because they just haven't been able to change as much because they don't have possession of the ball. So as this game goes on, they will probably tire a little bit more than the Devils.
All right. Zan Belt, she will flip this one over a couple girls as Manitoba corrals it. This will be Sigurdsson along with Colmartin, the two on the offensive push here right now in the sideboards for Manitoba. Now Gignac is offsides, and this will come back into the opposing end. A little bit of a rest here for these two teams, Phil. I know it's still early on in this period, but have you seen anything that stood out to you so far with the play?
No, there hasn't been too much that you obviously the coaches have talked to both teams at halftime and probably given them a couple little pointers as to where they think they can break down the other team. I haven't really noticed anything as of yet, but I think you'll probably see the Devils try and spread the play out a little bit more and try and pull Manitoba out of their sort of strong box is what they're really playing once the Devils have possession in their own end.
All right, Durer Pintany, she'll bank it off the boards. Be picked up now by Manitoba. There's McIntyre, she'll lose the ball. Durer Pintany. That will be back into the Devils' end. Good play by Jessica Henley as Henley has Durer Pintany open.
And just like in hockey, a lot of times you have someone who really sets up plays and that. So she's just held up the ball there to give it to really their playmaker to try and pick out someone in front.
Good shot in front of the net, knocked away, and there was no rebound that was able to be picked up by the Devils as they look to regroup. This is Mackenzie Coons. Now has it back for Michaela Coons. Sisters, both of these two girls. Good shot in front, saved by Carisson. Back to Coons. She'll take the shot, and I thought it was in, but it went off the outside of the net. A lot of pressure here in front of Carisson early on in this second period. Back the other way. Here's Michaela Cuvelier. She will fall down to the ice.
It was a nice play by her to get it deep in the offensive end, and that gave everyone a chance to get a switch in there too.
Boy, oh boy, throwing some big hits here. Yes. I didn't know Broomball was this intense.
Oh yeah, trust me, there's some serious hitting. Especially, I played many years, and yeah, you get some of the adult guys, and yeah, they can rock you pretty good out there. Some of the girls can hit too, that's for sure.
Yes, this is an all-girls night tonight. Was Wednesday and Thursday here, so some of those games done yesterday. Some of them now will be done tonight. This is the first game of 3 games that we have on the schedule, as that's a good shot that flies over the outside of the net, just outside of the reach of Bollinger's stick. Eliza Bollinger calling for it now. She'll take the shot, deflected. Now Kopko trying to pull it down into the other end, but it's going to be Dallas McMillan now who has it. First time we've mentioned her name tonight. Stopped in front by Carisson. Good save, Haley Carisson, as that ball was on the doorstep, and she made a nice stop.
That was a nice stop and a nice read by the player just coming off the bench. Went straight from the net because you never know when that ball might go, and yeah, it came right out in front, and that's probably one of the top 2 or 3 chances they've had in this game so far.
All right, face off to the left of Carisson. Ball comes back to the point. Shot! Good save there by Carisson. The rebound to the side. She stops it, and she needed to see everything there, as that was a great shot from the point by Emily Zandbelt. We'll see it here again.
Yeah, that's beautiful. She moved it over a little bit into the middle, a little bit of a loop on there. Just was able to hit that ball almost a high broom, but was able to hit it pretty much right at shoulder level and gave it another shot. This goalie is really good. She squares up to the ball really well, so they may have to look at something like a tip in front of the net to try and get it past her.
Ball will go to the outside boards. Stop in front again by Carisson. Here's Josie Lazon. She will have that ball knocked to the side. Back the other way now. Here comes the Manitoba All-Star Girls. That offensive rush a little bit short-lived there as the Devils come back the other way. Picked up again by McMillan. She will dump it in. The Devils will go to a change.
And you saw as soon as Manitoba got it in over that line, the Devils just swarmed. They had all 5 girls probably within 10 feet of the ball there just to try and take that ball away and stop any chance.
And over the boards now as play will be stopped. So 12:24 left to go in this second period here, and 2 18-minute periods so far. We've been through one. Now we're partway through this one, Phil, and yes, there's some offensive push from the Devils, but I'm impressed with what I'm seeing right now from Manitoba.
I think what's happening is Manitoba's getting more confident as this game goes on. They're feeling they can play with this team. And the longer it stays tied, the better it is for Manitoba. You got to know that the Seaway Valley Devils assume they're going to win this game. And yeah, the longer it stays tied, the more pressure starts to creep in.
Good play there, as that's Julianne Roar who made a nice play at the red line. Now it's Elaine Gignac. Sorry, Sarah Richer, who has this ball deflected in front. And over to the right of Carisson. The Devils are going to regroup. Across now to Richer. Richer trying to find an opening, takes a shot. They almost had the rebound in front. Now it's going to come back to the red line. Trying to add more offensive pressure. Woodside going to stop this ball. And as they do a change, Woodside bringing this in to Manitoba's end. Woodside, 2 girls on her right now. She's doing a great job of moving that ball away from the defenders as they will go off, and Manitoba back the other way.
And that was one of those plays where probably she would have been better off trying to keep some control of the ball, but you could tell that that player just wanted to get off and get a switch. Nice rocking hit there.
She just got knocked into the boards with the shot. Good save by Carisson. That was McRae. A smaller girl, but boy, oh boy, she had a lot of oomph in that ball.
Once again, that's one of those, just like in hockey, you take the hit to make the play sometime. I'm sure Repetnier knew that she was going to get hit, even though it was a smaller girl that was hitting her. She knew she was going to get hit, but you get that ball in and create the good scoring opportunity.
Ball won by Manitoba now. Bouchard moves it over to Richer in front. And how did she keep that out? Unbelievable by Haley Carisson. The ball squeaks through. She keeps it somehow between her legs, and that does not go over the line, I don't believe.
No, I'm sure it didn't go fully over. And yeah, just a beautiful play to have that awareness that the ball's coming through.
Wow.
And just make sure you get there and cover it up as quick as you can.
Jeez. Thanking her lucky stars there, as this is still a 0-0 game. Under 10 minutes left to go in this second period. This is the Seaway Valley Devils against the Manitoba All-Star Girls here at the Canadian Broomball Championships here in Owen Sound, Ontario at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center. And good stop. No, they score. 1-0 Devils, as finally that is Maxine Durapentini, I said it properly this time, with the goal. Makes it a 1-0 game for the Devils.
And that's really just one of those close-in plays. So they got the ball behind the net, going to pop it back out in front, and you're just trying to suck people in a little bit. She sneaks in, she protects the ball nicely, and yeah, they're just a couple little scoops from behind. The goalie didn't quite see it coming quick enough, and that's what caught her off guard.
And from the saves that we've seen and the chances that the Devils have had in this game, it's rare to see Carisson have a little bit of trouble seeing that ball, and it just squeaked through. But nonetheless, it's still a 1-0 game here. Now pressure added on Manitoba as they're trying to strike in the Devils' end.
Yeah, so now it's going to open up even more so, because now they're going to have to try and score now, the All-Star girls. And the Devils are going to know that, and they could try and play defensively, but I think from what I saw of this Devils team, they're comfortable with the ball, so they want to try and get that second one and put the game out of reach.
Coons, the other side with her sister, just missed wide of that left post there. And that could have been definitely a goal that might have put this game out of reach, but still a 1-0 game. And Brooklyn Woodside flips it back to McMillan, who takes a shot. Nice deflection knocked aside, and this is Ginac. She will pass it to her teammate. Nobody there as it goes to the other side. Woodside again. Fans on the shot. Picked up by Comartin. Comartin.
Not getting much help there from her winger there to try and give her an option. And that's why she ended up just sort of having to eat that ball in the corner.
Ginac. A nice play off the board. Do they score? What a great play. We'll have to see this one again, Phil. But Mackenzie Coons with the goal.
Yeah, just a beautiful tip. Great hand-eye coordination there. I'm sure we'll see the replay. But yeah, beautiful. You put that ball on net and anything can happen. There's always lots of bodies in there, lots of deflections that can happen. Great pass off the boards to the player. In the half board, she just throws it in there, and then, yeah, you just get the broom in the right little area there, tips it down, and really the goalie didn't have a whole lot of a chance on that one.
2-0 now, as the offense that we've kind of seen throughout this tournament from the Devils, we're now seeing as they're up 2-0 on Manitoba.
And really, even after they got that first goal, you certainly saw a comfort level. They were taking those shots from the point. They weren't quite as worried about them getting blocked. Yeah, they just look a little bit stronger again now.
Traffic in front. This will be cleared back to the point. Just to the outside of the reach of McMillan. And Bouchard, she'll have that ball bounce back and forth.
Smart play off the boards there to get it out.
Back the other way. This is Madison Major. She'll lose that ball and will be picked up by Elisa Bollinger. And now over to Bouchard. Sarah Richer. She will have that ball caught up in the feet of her defender. Now Bouchard, a great chance here, coming to the outside, knocked aside. Out in front, and they score! Another bounce, and I believe that's Mackenzie Coons again. No, that is
it's hard to tell
Sarah
whether,
Richer.
or was that an own goal? It's hard to tell who's, it almost looked like it went off a shin guard there. We'll have to take a look. Either way, it's in the back of the net. It's 3-0. But yeah, just fired in there, and like I say, look for that rebound, that deflection.
Yeah, it looks like it could have come off the defender or the stick of Sarah Richer, and now it's a 3-0 game with 5:56 left to go. You see the bench of Manitoba right there, Phil, and you're down 3-0 at this point. What's the game plan here?
You know what? This is probably just to calm the girls down more than anything. They were in it for so long. Really, they've scored 3 goals in about 3 minutes here, the Devils, because it was almost a 9-minute mark of the second period when they got their first goal. Since they got that first goal, they smelt the blood in the water, and they've been attacking. And now it's just time just to tell them, okay, you know what? It's going to be tough. We probably can't get 3 goals in 6 minutes. But what you want to do is play good the last 6 minutes here. Let's try to not give up any goals. Let's try and break the shutout. You want to keep it respectable, and she doesn't want them to get too frazzled. That's probably the big thing, is just calm it down. It's not life or death. Let's get out there and play a good last 6 minutes.
And you have to give credit to a lot of these teams coming from all over Canada. To be able to come here and play is fantastic. We do want to say hello to everybody that is watching online. I know last time that we did this, we had a great turnout from live viewers through YouTube. We even had places in Europe watching these games, so it's fantastic to see people from another country wanting to, like thousands of miles away, wanting to watch broomball because it's such an exciting sport.
It is. It's fun, certainly. I played it for a lot of years. Quite enjoyed it. Was never much of a skater, so hockey was pretty much out of the question. So some people might say broomball might have been out of the question for me too, but I gave it my best shot anyways. But yeah, it's a great sport, and hopefully, if there's leagues around, you're never too old to start playing.
What a great chance there to make this 4-0. And the Devils now just trying to chew up clock as this one, what a save by Carrisson. Oh my goodness. If we can get that one on replay, that was an unbelievable save. Her team is down 3-0, and she's still making unreal saves like that, Phil.
Absolutely. She attacked that ball. She saw the girl right out front and knew, you try and make yourself as big as possible. I think that's going to be called down with the high broom, though, so don't have to worry about that. No goal. But
let's see this replay again, and this is just an absolutely fantastic save.
And yeah, she could tell that she didn't have a defender right in front to take that girl, so she had to come out there and basically play defender and goalie all at the same time. So
she absolutely robbed her with the face mask and then sticks out the left leg and robs her there. If there was any kind of highway robbery, that would be it right there, ladies and gentlemen. I know this is a 3-0 game for these girls, but you got to say, you got to give efforts to the goaltender there, Phil, with your team is right now trying to get out of this slump of not even putting a point on the board in this tournament, and you're making saves like that.
Well, exactly, yeah. And truthfully, we saw this Manitoba team. They held this game scoreless for 3/4 of it. So they are getting better. I don't think there's any doubt that they are, and it can be as stuff as if this is what we call an all-star team, they might not play together all the time too. There could be so many different things that as the time goes on, they're going to get better and better, this team. Another thing too is they're all young. Like, you sort of forget that these players aren't that old. So
they did call that a goal to make it 4-0, and we'll see it here as Richer takes that shot. And I guess it deflected off of a defender.
It probably it went off the hand of the defender, and that's why. And she knocked it down into her own net.
So just unfortunate events right now for Manitoba. It seems like since that first goal happened, it's been no turning back for the Devils.
And once again, they had to start pressuring too. Once they gave up that goal, then they had to try and pressure a little bit more offensively. And that probably is not their strength.
McRae. She will flip it out in front. Another good save by Carrisson. Oh my goodness. Another save as that one goes right into the breadbasket. And we'll get the stop of play with 4:24 left in the game.
Yeah, she certainly made some nice saves so far in this game. And like I say, it really doesn't feel like it's a 4-0 game, honestly. Early on, the Devils weren't quite taking all their chances that they were getting, and they didn't really have that many. Manitoba played really strong in front of their keeper. But, the last little while, they seem to have not missed anything in the last 5 minutes here.
And you got to think here, too, we're broadcasting this, and these are girls' juvenile broomball championships right now, but this age is between the ages of 16 and 20, Phil. So this Manitoba team seems like a little bit of a young team. Just think of what they will be next year.
Exactly, yes. These girls have, people will play this game till in their 40s and that at somewhat of a competitive level. Certainly into their 30s they can. So yeah, these girls have a lot of years left to play this game. Truthfully, I don't think I even started playing till I was probably about 19 years old. So yeah, that's probably why these girls are already better than I ever was.
The ball movement still amazes me, despite whether it's boys or girls, men or women playing, Phil. The ball movement from these girls is outstanding.
It is. And and the other thing too is it's not as easy as you would think to be running on the ice in that too. The truth of the matter is it's still somewhat slippery. The shoes help, but you certainly know you're not running on cement when you're playing.
Just wanted to give our viewers out there a shocking turn of events as the Owen Sound Attack right now are up 3-0 on, yes, the best CHL team in Canada. We'll see what happens. This is a 3-0 game, and there's still plenty of game left to go, Phil. But what a statement this would be if Owen Sound were to walk in there and win.
Did you say best or second best? No.
Best.
I probably shouldn't have said that. Where's some wood to knock on? But yes, that's
Don Cherry would agree with you.
Exactly. That's a great that's a great score so far. Hopefully they can keep that up, and certainly the goal had to be to try and take 1 or 2 in Sudbury. Or in the Sioux, sorry.
And there's an absolute robbery there by Carisson once again, as there's 2:20 left to go in this game, and the Devils still trying to pressure, put more force on this all-star girls team from Manitoba, and Haley Carisson doing what she can in net right now for her team. But really the Devils have, once they took control of this game, it was no holds barred from there, as this is, I believe, the first shot that we've seen since early on in the second period, Phil, on the goaltender Zan Belt.
I would think so, yes. I can't actually remember them having any sort of pressure at all in the Devils zone once the Devils went up 1-0. So it's tough. Like I say, I think this team probably knew they couldn't really give up a goal. So they were probably going to have to win this game. If they're going to win it, they're going to have to win it 1-0. And yeah, once you give up that first goal, you go, really? Are we going to get 2? So you get a little deflated, and then that's when that second goal comes in, and then it makes it tough.
So 1:33 left to go in this game. The way things are looking, it's going to be an 0-5 result for the Manitoba All-Star Girls team, and the Seaway Valley Devils are going to go to 4-2 in this tournament with another important win here with a 4-0 win. But Manitoba still looking to try to get that first goal of this tournament, and could they possibly do it here? We're going to have to see.
And that's the thing. It certainly would be a moral victory if they could get a goal on a very good team, you can tell, too. Like I say, once again, they've been in this for stretches of the game. They even had a little bit of a run of play in Seaway's end. And like I say, they got a chance here, 3-on-2, and just need to break for the ball a little bit rather than waiting for the ball to come to her.
Great play in front. Another stop by Carisson. Man, oh man. She is absolutely playing out of her mind right now, even though her team's down 4-0. You got to give a lot of credit to her. And I was talking with one of our members of the Rogers crew here before the game time, Derek, and he mentioned to me, he said, keep an eye for that netminder of Manitoba, as she's been the one that's really kept them in these games. And he's absolutely right. As this ticks down under 20 seconds, Sarah Richer going to take the shot. Manitoba with one last push of effort. They're going to try to get this down to the other end. And that will do it, as it's a 4-0 final win for the Seaway Valley Devils over the Manitoba All-Star Girls here at the 2018 Canadian Juvenile Broomball Championships.
Yes.
It was an important game for this Devils team, as they were tied in their division, 6 points apiece with another team, and they were able to step that up. They still have a big task ahead of them, as Team Miss from Quebec is the team right now who's the team to beat. They're 5-0. But now we're going to be down at ice level, and they're going to talk about the MVPs. There's the MVP right there, and you can't ask for anything more.
I don't think anyone is surprised who the MVP was for Manitoba.
And for the Seaway Valley Devils, it is Maxime Durer-Pintany. And I think I said it finally as the last time.
There we go.
But there it is, as the Seaway Valley Devils walk away with a 4-0 win and improve to 4-2 in this tournament over the Manitoba All-Star Girls. Well, that does it up here